Hello everybody, my name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer, and this is Scouting Party, the series where we bring you the inside scoop on the newest Kobold Press Kickstarter. And guess what? This week we're talking about Player's Guide 2 again. Last time we went through all of the new lineage options that you can expect from this, like the Froggy Sapopova, or the Vegetable Halamantau, and the elementally touched Elemental Scions. This week we're talking about classes and subclasses, the meat and potatoes, the butter and toast, the whatever. I had the pleasure of talking with lead designer Celeste about all of these new options and exactly what holes are being filled in the current fiction of Tales of the Valiant, and what new things that no one even thought of in the first place are being brought to the table. Now there's no time to waste. The Scouting Party has returned. That's me, I'm the Scouting Party. So let's debrief. So we could talk about lineages all day,
Yeah,
but that's just one of the
just
many
of the many things.
one of the many things in this. Because don't forget, we also have classes and subclasses, and we can get to the classes in a bit because I feel like that's going to be a whole thing, right? But just talking about what we're expanding on, what is already there. Let's talk about one of the 50 new subclasses, which obviously we can't go through all of them right now. But let's if you had to pick one from each of the classes.
So just confirming right now, also, by the way, every single base class is getting at least 3 new subclasses. A lot of people are talking like, oh, I hope they don't do just 1 or 2 more. Absolutely not. We're doing a whole bunch in here. So at least note when I say that. So you're going to expect everything for new Mechanist subclasses all the way through your standards. And then for our new classes, which we'll talk about in a bit, are getting a bunch of subclasses. But yeah, so we are coming back to, and again, some of these, you clever playtesters have identified, you've playtested pieces of some of these new ones. But like for the Kraken, or I'm sorry, for the Barbarian subclass, you're going to see some fan favorites from playtesting, like the Kraken Barbarian, which, yes, of course it changed from playtesting, those of you who are worried about the number of tentacles. That's what playtesting is for.
Yeah.
So like, so excited to see kind of a seafaring, like barbarian style, also featured in like some really cool art. One of our, because you might be seeing some new kind of stock heroes coming out of this, perhaps more Valiant heroes. I don't know, but one of them sure do have a lot of cool tentacles. So that's very cool. And then for the bard, we're covering some of these like additional bases. So like allure is one of the options. So this is your performance distractions, illusions, like look this way, not this way, style bard. We also have a college of mockery going in there, which is just very fun. A lot of slapstick humor prepared if you like the Three Stooges. Boy, do we have a class for you. Um, and then we're rounding out like our cleric. We made a promise in Player's Guide 1 that we would cover all of the domains that we couldn't fit in that book. And we are coming back. We're covering, death and nature and tempest and, the bases that you're expecting. For our druids, we're going elemental. We have some elemental specific theme stuff. We also have some Fey touch stuff and some, cool crystal druids. And we've got archers and we've got, like scrappy fighters and there's so much stuff. I'm just like halfway through the list. And like our mechanists, we've got like a toy maker, things that explode, little minion bots. We've got a grenadier, so big explosions and lobbed, like different effects. The monk, we've got some, we are seeing, oh my gosh, the elemental monk is coming, and it's so good. It's so good, you guys. Those you play tested, With our paladin, we've got our bad boy paladin, right? Like our fallen sort of like vengeance style, like anti-paladin. Obviously, that's coming in this book. We've got like a magical archer style subclass for our rangers coming out here. Also, our super sneaky rangers that lurk and skulk in the shadows. Sorcerers, yeah, we're covering things like our storm sorcerer, our cyclonic. We're covering things like the sacred, these bases that people have been clamoring for. For our warlock, not only are we doing subclasses, we're expanding the invocation options available to people.
Nice.
We've got things, we got to cover our fae, and we also have like the elemental regent warlock. So, given love, everybody
Ooh.
loves Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is gonna love the heck out of this book.
So many elemental
Um,
options.
yeah, so many, right? Well, that's like, when you start expanding the sphere of the universe, where do you go? The plane of fire, obviously. Um, and then for wizards, we have things like Necromancer are going to be coming, and like the Summoner.
Ooh.
So sort of covering
Ooh.
those wizard bases, like when you think of like what is a quintessential wizard. That's a lot I just threw at you, and I did
It's
not read them all. I read about half.
yeah, there's so much.
So,
There's
yeah.
so much. And
Yeah.
if I may be a little selfish since I get to ask the
Yes.
question. Sorry,
Yes.
viewers. I want to know about this necromancer.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
someone who was disappointed with the original 5e necromancer,
Yeah.
I'm so interested to see how Tales of the Valiant makes it playable
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
interesting.
I promise, we're doing it. I personally, I mean, the Locked Tomb series is a series that I love near and dear to my heart, and one of the best things about that was seeing how many different flavors of necromancy there really are in this universe.
Yeah.
I love playing weird, lawful good necromancers, and I like my necromancy to have some options, right? It's not all about evil, doom and gloom, digging up the dead. It's about flesh manipulation at every level, right? And so
Right.
there's a lot of options I feel like in there that people are going to be really excited for.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Not just you
good.
boost your minion class.
It
They
just
can obviously have
right.
minions too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I want to do stuff as a
I want it.
necromancer. And I don't
Yeah.
want to wait till like level 8 until I'm like actually a
No.
necromancer.
No, no, I promise. These things are dripping with flavor.
Oh, so good. So good. That's just a little bit of all the subclasses, but let's talk about the new stuff. We've got 3 new classes in
Yeah.
here, 2 of which are not the same as people are going to probably think they are.
Oh, no. So we are revisiting from our 5e days, both the Theurge and the Witch, that we published as 5e classes in Deep Magic 1 and 2, respectively, are coming back to Tales of the Valiant. But they're getting the full Tales of the Valiant treatment. And as I am constantly telling people, if you put these classes side by side, oh boy, it's a lot of difference. Because remember in 5e how there were all these levels where there was nothing going on, and the subclasses weren't standardized. It was a real mess. So we're doing a lot to these classes to bring them forward, and every single feature I think is getting either tweaked, updated, or like expanded in incredible ways for Tales of the Valiant. Obviously, you're going to expect a bunch of new features like we introduced in ToV. So things like the 10th level heroic boon choices. That's a whole new thing that's coming to these classes. Epic boon choices. We're also doing entirely new subclasses. So you're not going to be seeing anything that looks like what you saw in Deep Magic 1 or 2, though those subclasses would be radically different given our new format here too.
Yeah.
So really, it's almost felt like an entire redesign for these 2 base classes, bringing them forward into a more robust system with a lot more options. Also, I'm gonna clear another point of discussion. You ready, Kendo? I'm just answering all the big
Yeah,
questions.
go for
The
it.
witch is going to be a full weird spellcasting class.
Oh, thank
So that is
God.
our first full weird spell source list class confirmed, everybody. Obviously, there are going to be some subclasses and options that still flirt with the primordial,
Mhm.
because that link, is still very much there in a lot of the witch flavors and lore. So that's not entirely going away, but it is definitely going to skew towards the supernatural and
Yeah.
the weird.
Well, then that only leaves one other new
And
class.
then the brand new
The
one, our
brand new one.
Vanguard. The Vanguard is coming. The Vanguard, again confirming spiritual successor to things like the Warlord class from 4th edition. This is a heavy-hitting martial tank of a character that can control the battlefield. So they have commands, they have orders, they have a whole banner mechanic, which is about placing down a banner to affect allies within a certain radius. A flag, one might say, that they frequently wave about. There might even be a feature called Black Flag that you get. Just, always be branding. This class is so much fun for the people who want to play those martial characters from that largely tactical perspective, in the same way you might have to like really dig into the crunch as a wizard, right? You're like, okay, where are my enemies? How can I affect areas? That is what the Vanguard is. And we have a bunch of different flavors of that. Like, what does that leader on the battlefield, like, what is definitive about that class? How do you uplift your allies? It's also our second base class that has a D12 hit dice, everybody. So, Barbarian, we're coming for you.
Nice and tanky.
Yeah, tanky, because you can't go down if you're leading the army, right? Like, that would be horrible for morale. So they might not have, them themselves dishing out the damage dealing potential of something like a fighter, which is just like murder machine, right? On the field at high levels. But what they're about is that support. And a Vanguard working together with their teammates, when that happens well, like it's everyone is going to feel those benefits, those buffs. You have a lot of options on the field to deal with whatever enemies might be throwing at you, and help your party get through it. So I'm really, really excited for people to see. We've also got some of it coming in the preview for the Kickstarter. So you'll see it so soon.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, if you're listening now, you can go get it.
You could go do it. Just go look at it right now.
Pause this video, go into the description. There's a link to the Kickstarter page.
Go to the Kickstarter now.
I want you to download the preview PDF, open it up, put it side by side to this video, and you can kind of read it while you're listening to us.
I'm really, really excited for it. Though we do say, one of the reasons we kind of held back on this class for Player's Guide 2 is this is definitely a class for people who love combat and love the crunch, right? They're not afraid to think about the game and like make use of every mechanic, right, available. So we even say that in the description, probably not recommended as your first character ever for Tales of the Valiant. This is the character that the brilliant tacticians, the people who, if you love chess, you're gonna love this this base class. I think it'll be a really satisfying niche that's getting fulfilled.
Love that. I want to play it so bad. Players are getting new lineages, new subclasses, new classes. And amongst those options, they're also getting new heroic and epic boons for each of these classes. What are these, right? What more options are people getting, and how are they working and melding with what already exists?
Yeah. So the vision was always for these new class features that we designed across the board. So now every class at 10th level gets to pick a heroic boon, and these are options specifically tied to the class. So the dream was always to provide just a couple to start with and then build out that list. So you actually can grab a really powerful ability that works with some kind of variant or fantasy of that class, right? So, I mean, taking this easily, right? Like for the druid, the right of the kingdom lets you talk to all animals all the time without ever casting magic, right? Like that is a kind of druid that people have and envision in their minds all the time. So, which is one of the reasons we provided it as an option. So we are providing more options for heroic boons and epic boons in that same vein for every single class, is getting at least 2 more heroic boons to pick from. So this is at 10th level. You get that reward for sticking with that same, class all the way through. So, and these are going to be things that are addressing like the different kind of core aspects of the classes, right? So like when you think of monk, like we have more boons now. Like if you want to be the mobility champion, right? Like we are introducing some boons for that path. Or if you want to, we're circling back. If you want to be that paladin who can summon just a mount from nothing, that's a heroic boon option that we're adding in here now for all those people who are concerned about, the rituals and not having access to that. So we're filling in those spaces now of what that kind of stuff means and rounding out like the big ideas. And then obviously we're introducing a bunch of new ones for our new classes. So you'll get to see like what Theurge boon boons are gonna look like now, right? And like, what does it mean to, have a cool witch boon? And then just really excited for the 20th level stuff because we could only fit one epic boon choice, like sort of a default in Player's Guide 1. So now you will have a whole array of choices for you bold and brave heroes who stuck with it all the way to level 20.
Who spent years and years grinding their
Or,
way.
play level 21 shots because you love the chaos.
Godspeed to any GM willing to take on that burden.
I've run a few. They're always super fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Somebody's got to play test those 20th level options, you know what I mean?
I guess someone does. It's got to be so weird as a player or as a GM to immediately like, okay, we're starting off at level 20 and then you're going through and like, oh, I can do so much.
I have my personal playtest group. It's other game designers who I trust to play those level 20. It's weird. We're ready. We're the veterans of war, ready.
They know how to break it just right,
exactly.
just enough.
That's really what playtesting is. Like, how can you break this box? Thank you.
Sadly, that is where we're going to have to end those conversations for now. But let's wrap up. This book is beefy. These new subclasses bring all of the customization that you could want for your hero, bringing you options both familiar and entirely unique. And each one is so flavorful and powerful, it's the exact kind of thing that you would expect from Kobold Press. The Vangaurd especially brings a level of tactical prowess to the table that I think genuinely might change the way that we think about combat in 5e if enough people start playing it. Because if players start getting more tactical, then GMs are going to start getting more tactical. And maybe we'll see 5e start touching more on its war game roots in a more literal fashion than, well, we probably would have expected. Don't forget, if you haven't already backed Player's Guide 2, now is a great time to do so. Not only are you ensuring that you and your table get first dibs on all of those sweet goodies lying inside, you'll also get access to all of the stretch goals that we've hit so far, and will hit in the future. So if you want more downtime options, new variant lineages, new expanded rules, then hey, go back the Kickstarter and get your friends to as well. But that's enough about that. Next week, we're going to be talking about the other options that help make your character who they are. Your backgrounds, your heritages, and your talents. And after we get all these pieces together, we'll be able to see what a true Valiant hero can look like with the Player's Guide 2. But until then, my name has been Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer, and don't forget to go out, be bold, be brave, be valiant, and we'll see you next time.